Okay, well, happy Wednesday morning to you all. It is July 12th, about 7:30 in the morning, and I'm driving my other truck because that truck sprung a leak. I was pulling in the driveway, was it Monday evening, and noticed that I was leaving a trail coming up the driveway, and I thought, that looks like more than condensation off the air conditioner. So I got to looking underneath it, and sure enough, man, it is just pouring a puddle of antifreeze right out one of the coolant pipes leading to the heater core. So anyway, I took it over to Christian Brothers Automotive. You can watch that video here. Did not work out. They scam artists, and they didn't do a good job at all. They didn't do any job, but they charged me anyway. So that's another story for another day. But yeah, anywho, I'm taking my other little trusty mini moto mule for a work commute this morning. We're going to the warehouse, and I meet up with a buddy of mine, and he's gonna shuttle me around because it has just been some kind of crazy hot in Houston lately. I mean, it's just it's hot all over, but the humidity here has just been so oppressive. Our heat indexes are 105 plus every day, and I've been staying off the bikes and the scoots just to prevent heat stroke and dehydrating. This is actually the first thing I've ridden since I got back from the Cannonball 2 weeks and change ago. So I was just kind of waiting out the heat a little bit and letting my butt recuperate from such a harrowing ordeal. I'm gonna sneak out here, dude. I do apologize. So I'll swap this today over at the warehouse for probably my CB500X. Give me a good commuter, because I am down 2 vehicles now. The Pilot took a dirt nap back in February when that guy rear-ended me, and now my truck, which was my kind of work truck spare, is also down. So it's all right. I'll just get back to full-time moto commuting and sweating my nuts off. Oh, look at that genius, man. Couldn't wait. I mean, literally, there's nothing behind us. That guy couldn't wait 2 seconds, not even 3 seconds. All it would have been was 2 seconds. Yikes. So yeah, Houston sucks. I'm getting real tired of living here. The heat, the traffic, the constant franticness, if that's a word. Just, everybody's angry, and just too much commotion, too much going on. Big cities all do it, like this guy. Where are you going, dude? 55 plus in a 35 zone, and yeah, just I'm tired of this. I gotta move. Where should I move, everybody? Leave some comments below. I'm gonna get out of this rat race as soon as possible. It's just, I don't know. I've been able to ignore it for years and years because work was good, but once work slowed down during the pandemic, it took a little while for it to trickle into my industry, but when it finally did, it's like, okay, well, why am I here if I could do what work I'm able to do remotely elsewhere, do something different. So it just kind of got the wheels turning, and I thought, I don't need to be here in this mishmash blender of unhappy humanity. So I don't know, I'm thinking about somewhere else. Maybe get out to a smaller town. I'll probably stay in Texas, but I don't know where in Texas. Maybe find something different. I gotta talk it over with the family and see what their thoughts are, obviously, because I'm not a single guy living footloose and fancy free and doing what I want, where I want, when I want. I have responsibilities, of course, so gotta see if it's amenable to the family to move to something smaller outside of this area. My wife's friends and the kids' schools and friends and all that. I've got to be mindful of that. This is where I should have brought the truck yesterday. YHS Automotive, they have really high ratings, and I spoke to them on the phone, and they said that the diagnostic fee was $149 or $149.95, whatever. And I thought, okay, well, I'll bring it in there in a few minutes. And then I called the Christian Brothers Automotive over there on West Green, and they said that their diagnostic fee was $79.95. I thought, oh, okay, well, fine. I'll go over there. You know, it's a bigger group. They've got lots of locations and you know, cheaper diagnostic fee just to at least tell me what's wrong and what the repair is going to cost. So anyway, that is now history, water under the bridge. But I should have gone to that YHS and given them a shot. Anybody else from here that's dealt with YHS, let me know what you think about them. I need to find another decent shop. And of course, it's hot in here. I can do the work myself, but I chose not to. I don't want to dig into that truck, especially where those coolant hoses are. I don't feel like messing with it. It's just a long, painful, sweaty job, and with the heat being what it is, I would rather send that over to somebody that's got a lift and all the right tools to be able to knock it out, and I'll be happy to pay for the time. But what I won't be happy to pay for is rape with no consideration. No thanks. They wanted to charge me over $3,000 just for unrelated stuff, when it's possible to fix that leak, or at least stopgap it by bypassing the heater core or whatever for $100, $200. I mean, you know, maybe $100 in parts. I could do that myself. Just preferred to not bust up my knuckles. So anyway, long story short, it's hard to find good service these days. That's why all of my customers like me so much, and all of my business that I've done for decades is always referrals. It's word of mouth, one happy customer to another, because you know, part of that getting shit done crowd, and I do a good job and don't screw people for work that I haven't done, you know, charging them for stuff I haven't done. A lot of times I don't even charge for the stuff I do. If they call me and have a quick 5-minute fix, 10-minute fix over the phone, nah, I'm not going to charge them for that. If I was able to do it in the background without breaking stride on another paying job, then no, they get that for free. All these shops these days, it just seems like it's their standard operating procedure to intentionally screw people over, overcharging for stuff, marking up parts over 100%. Like they were trying to charge me almost $1,000 for an intake manifold over there at Christian Brothers. Are you kidding me? $1,000? No, sorry, it was 900 and something bucks, but then over 1,000 in labor. $1,000 in labor to replace an intake manifold. I've had that intake manifold off. I know what it involves. It only takes about an hour and a half, if that. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, can't find good service these days. The total repair bill was over $4,000. Close to, I think it was actually closer to $5,000 when it was all said and done. It was like $4,800 and change or something like that for everything that they were proposing to do to fix this coolant leak. Okay, really? It's a 2003 Ford F-150. What do you think the value of that truck is? Maybe $1,800 if it's in good working condition, and you're wanting to get triple that out of me to fix a coolant leak? I think just, you know, get another used truck, go to a salvage yard, get a whole motor for $1,000. Hell, I could get a crate engine for that thing ready to go for $3,000. Smoke that pipe somewhere else, buddy. I don't need your contact high or contamination. So now I'm in liquidation mode. I'm going to go ahead and sell off a bunch of the bikes, get rid of any dead weight or at least unused stuff that's not really getting me anywhere. And my middle daughter's 16th birthday is this week, and money is so tight, and now transportation is tight, so I was hoping to get her some kind of a starter car, a used car for her first car. So yeah, going to be liquidating the stuff, just thin it down, sell off the Riker that's been on the auction block forever, maybe get rid of a couple of the other bikes. I might get rid of this. I just don't ride it that much. Like it, but I don't really ride it that much. Maybe get me some kind of other truck, I might repair that one. You know, obviously it's still a decent machine. It just needs some TLC. But yeah, changing gears, man. Changing gears all the way around. I haven't gotten into the PCX 150 remediation yet after the Cannonball. I'm saving that for when I've got a little bit more time and definitely more money. The repairs and the fixes on it aren't going to be all that terribly expensive, but I'm probably looking at about maybe $500 worth of stuff. At least $350 just for plastics. So with my schedule and money being as tight as it is right now, I'm just leaving that so I can do the whole project at once instead of piecemealing it, because I'm an ADHD poster child, and I'll get started in something like that and then other things will take priority and I forget about it, and I end up not going back to it or even thinking about it for weeks or months at a time. So I gotta try to pile that into one episode or one short attention span item. So I'll do the assessment on it and tear it down to get a parts count and put the order together. Then I'll do the entire order, and then when it comes in, I'll finish it. So it'll be at least a 2-part series. So, owner's honest opinion on the CT125. I really like the bike. I've had it now for a couple years and change. I haven't put all that many miles on it. A couple thousand miles-ish. 20, what? I can't look at it right now. 2,500 miles. And a lot of that was the 1,600-mile trip from here up to Barber Motorsports Museum, the Small Bore Festival, a year and a half ago, whatever, almost 2 years. What was it? Year, 2 years? I don't know. Can't keep track. It's not a highway bike, obviously, and I know that. I knew that going in, but I had really hoped that it would be a 55 mile per hour comfortable bike. You know, just getting down the road at, 55-ish, give or take a tiny bit, to be able to get to the trailheads and the off-road sections that I want to ride. But realistically, this thing is a 45 to 50 mile per hour bike. And you could change that behavior a little bit by up-gearing it, changing your final drive. But if you do that, you're sacrificing pulling power for off-road, which, this is supposed to be a little trail bike. It's supposed to be off-road capable. The unfortunate truth about this bike is it's underpowered for trail riding, and it's under-geared for highway riding. It's kind of the worst of both worlds on, both compromises. By comparison or contrast, the Super Cub is limited. We know, it's basically the same bike built on the same platform, but it's geared a little bit better, and it has slightly better top end power, because this one was geared for mid-range, just a touch more mid-range and less top end. So it's not going to pull as easily at 55 or 60 miles an hour as the Super Cub does. The Super Cub is also more aerodynamic. It's got a little bit more wind protection on it, whatever you want to call it, and makes it a bit slipperier on the road. So long story short, if you live in a rural area, then this makes sense. If you can stay on local roads, access roads, side roads, where the rest of traffic really isn't going much over 50 miles an hour. And that doesn't mean the speed limit. That means what they're actually traveling, because that's the important thing. If you've got dirt roads, fire roads, trails, whatever, yeah, this thing's great for that. And they're as tough as nails. I mean, you can beat them up and they're not going to fail. I haven't seen or heard any failures on these things, and I wouldn't expect so. But they're just not really cut out for urban life, suburban, absolutely, country life. Yeah, they're fine. So I'll probably sell this off, trade it off for somebody that can use it more in their environment. If I end up moving very soon, which is kind of unlikely, because I don't, it's hard to pick up an entire family and 20 years of crap in a house and just move somewhere else. But If I move somewhere more rural, then I might do, you know, I might keep this and have it for a run around or whatever. But for commuting and anything else, it just doesn't cut it. Not for me, not for my use case. So, yeah, in a nutshell, that's an owner's 2-year, barely 2,500 mile review on the CT125. If Honda had included the dual range transmission on this, then it might have made all the difference in the world. But for normal USA city life, it's hard to make a case for this thing. If I decide to keep this thing, I'll definitely put a 143cc kit on it. One of the large ones, like the 181, 183, something like that, I'm not interested in, because you got to do so much more engine work at that point. Anytime you upbore, you should really be balancing the reciprocating assembly, which means pulling the crank and rebalancing the crank and all that. And then, you know, all the other support components have got to be upgraded as well to deal with the added horsepower, the added heat. So it's not a trivial change if you want it to be reliable. So, I don't know. I figure the 143 kit is a somewhat non-invasive upgrade. It's gonna allow you to retain the factory head. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get a different cylinder for it that includes, well, obviously you have to get a different cylinder, but one that includes the oil cooler bypass, and then upgrade the oil pump as well. So that extra oil volume would really help this little motor and aid in cooling and all that. It's when you start running higher compression and more power, then you're generating more heat, and I don't think that this factory configuration could deal with that gracefully, you know, reliably. Could be wrong, but it's not a good idea. All right, I have arrived somewhat. We're gonna get some breakfast and hopefully get some work done today, recover some money. It's always good to have money, which I have very little of right now. Bump. Private parking. All right, everybody. I will catch up with you later this afternoon, hopefully. Probably do the bike swap, take the 500X home. I might take the Rebel home. They're all sitting in there, just waiting patiently. I need to run all of them and get the batteries topped up because they haven't been run in at least 6 weeks now. It's been a while. Riker, all the stuff in there. So, yep. Anyway, I'll catch up with you later. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the day. It's still Tuesday, and it's 7:30 in the evening, something along those lines, right around that time. I'm taking the 500X out for the first time since I put on the new Michelin a couple months ago. I put that on, I guess it was right around the time my hand got boogered from the scooter crash or something. But anyway, brand new tire. I've maybe got a couple miles on it. I still have all the adhesive on there from the sticker. Anywho, 500X hasn't seen any exercise in a little while, and now that I'm down 2 vehicles, I'm going to be commuting by two-wheeler for a while. Figured this is going to be probably the best steed for the job because I can go anywhere I need to go, highway or otherwise. So it's all serviced up and ready to go. It's had a fresh oil change just before I parked it a few months ago. Fresh tires, just checked tire pressures, ready to put some miles on it. So I will have you know that Christian Brothers has tried to reach out to me several times today. I don't know if it's because of the video that I posted and they found out that's who I am, because they don't know my the YouTube personality. But they've reached out several times, and just from the voicemail, I haven't talked to them because I've not been in the mood to talk to them. They're in the damage control recovery mode right now because of their buffoonery that they pulled yesterday. So I don't trust them, and I know that they're doing this same nonsense to countless other people, you know, hundreds, thousands of people, who knows. Blatant overcharging and fraudulent invoices for services that they haven't performed. So I'm not in the mood to mess with them. But anyway, back to the point. In the voicemail that they left, they're saying, you know, we're sorry about the experience you had. We want to do those repairs for you for free. Blah blah blah. This that. So I don't know. I'm in a moral quandary now. Put your comments below. Tell me if you think I should let them work on my truck for free. They haven't returned my money yet, so I guess it's not totally free, but I just don't trust them to do the work and do it right. I'm going to be second guessing everything they do. I might as well do it myself. But yeah, they said they were going to void out my $362 transaction or whatever it was from yesterday, but it hasn't been returned to my bank yet, so I guess it's going to take a while if it ever happens. So yeah, anyway. So the quandary, allow them to fix whatever issues are wrong with the cooling system on the truck for free, or just have them suck eggs, which, you know, that's where I'm at now. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Oh, it's a hot one today. Temperature got up to 101, 102 official temp, but my thermometers, I've got multiple digital thermometers in my warehouse, and they all read 103 inside the garage. And I've got a big roof vent that gets rid of a lot of the really nasty heat up high. So it means it was pretty stinking hot today. It's very humid too, man. Right now I think it's 94. Still pretty toasty. I was waiting for the sun to go down a little bit, but I'm getting tired of sweating there in my warehouse because the little AC unit that I have in my front office area is not very good. It's oh, I don't know, 6,000 BTU or something like that, little half-ton unit, and it does not do a very good job. It can barely offset heat soak that's coming in from the garage area. So if it's already hot in there, it ain't going, it's not cooling down. So I've been sweating in there for the last, I don't know, 3 hours, waiting for the traffic to die down and the sun to come down a little bit, maybe take the edge off of the day. And oh man, I don't think it got below about 88 in my front office this whole time. Time to go. Get me some forced air conditioning here. So, I've got a lot of work stacked up for tomorrow and the next several days, so I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have for video editing. I'll throw this one out there probably tonight. Won't take very long to put this together. And I'm not going to be able to get back into the Cannonball series for a few days. Maybe this weekend at the earliest. My daughter's 16th birthday is tomorrow, so happy 16th to you, Bella. I love you. And not sure what else is going to go on for the rest of the week other than work. So I've got a lot of work stacked up, which is a good thing. I need it. This thing needs a bath. It's filthy. It's been sitting around. Sat on my patio under the gazebo for, oh, I don't know, probably a week or something. Got rained on once or twice, and then I rode it over to the warehouse and parked it. So it's got warehouse dust and rain spoo all over it. Clean it up. Need to lube the chain too. The chain's sounding a little bit noisy, a little crunchy. The chain hasn't been lubed since I was on my Arkansas, well, the whole, you know, the 2,000-mile loop with Neil and the guys back in, what was it, November, October of last year? It was November. So many miles does this thing have on it now? 21 and change, I believe. Yeah, right at 21, so 20,936. I actually figured I'd have this thing up over 40 or 50,000 by now, but I haven't been riding it that much in the last couple of years. I've been riding my other bikes. I've got 12, 13, 14,000 on the Rebel already, and most of those are just from long highway trips up to the Northeast. I'm hoping that I collect a couple of fairly large checks this Friday. We got some customers that are a little bit behind schedule because of the holidays, so that means I'm behind schedule too. But if that happens, I'm probably going to order some stuff for the Navi. I was missing 1 or 2 little parts that I wanted to have to complete that thing, so I could just put it back together and not mess with it. Start riding the Navi around a little bit more, because it's been parked for a long time now. I started pulling all the plastics off of it to do the AC to DC conversion and LED signals and tail light, headlight, all that. And I did it, but I need a blocking diode or 2 in the turn signal circuit, because it flashes and then hangs on, I think it's left. Right seems to work, or maybe it's vice versa. One side or the other flashes, but the other side does not. It flashes and hangs, and that's because of the way those older, simpler Hondas are set up. It uses about as basic an electrical system as you can possibly imagine. So, need to get a couple of blocking resistors and probably just make a little quick disconnect harness that I can shove in the headlight bucket with the rest of the wiring, and that'll fix the LED issues. The AC/DC conversion is already done, so it should be pretty much ready to toss the side plastics back on it and ride it. Alright, well, home again, home again. Thank you for tagging along if you've made it this far. And wow, these mirrors are really dirty. All I see is glare. Yeah, back home, swapped steeds. This will be my commute tool for a while now, until I can sort out the truck and the other stuff. And the PCX battery is dead. That's why I didn't ride it this morning. I left the battery chargers on, or something was on, and it killed the battery. So anyway, I'll catch you later.